we have a problem. I'm the type where if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna freaking do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it up, you know, or I'm just not gonna do it. So for trick or treating, like my oldest daughter was Bluey, was Bingo. Youngest was Bluey, and like if I was gonna do it, like I would want to be the dad.
The dad,
right? And it. But instead, because we didn't plan it right and all this sort of stuff going on, I just had a shirt. It was a cute shirt. It said "Girl Dad." It had Bandit like with makeup on. It was funny, but I just wasn't into it because I felt like I was going against my principles of I'm either going to do it, I'm going to do it right, or I'm just not going to do it. And so I wasn't very in the spirit, but Rosie got a lot of candy, so that means I've eaten a lot of candy, so I'm happy.
Yeah. Oh. Did you pick out all the poison, all the Reese's Cups and Kit Kats and all the good stuff?
Yeah, I made sure to get all the weed gummies, so that way Rosie didn't get them.
Welcome to the ATL Golfs podcast.
Hey everyone, this is Andrew from the ATL Golfs podcast, and welcome to episode 4. We are covering Bobby Jones Golf Course. We are joined by Joe Davis, the owner and founder of ATL Golfs, and we also have the head pro of Bobby Jones Golf Course, Kayla Jones. Welcome everyone.
Yeah,
what's up, guys?
Welcome, Kayla. Hold on, if we have a soundboard, we can do a golf clap. Yeah. There we go.
That's pretty cool.
Well, Kayla, if you wouldn't mind telling everyone kind of a brief, the Cliff Notes version of your story, how you ended up at Bobby Jones, and then we'll let everyone know kind of what we're going to do today.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I've played golf my whole life. I started playing when I was 5. My dad introduced me to the game. I went on to play my college golf at Florida State, and then I played professionally for about 3 years before getting into the golf business because I was like a natural next step. I worked at a private club for a couple years, and then I came over to Bobby Jones as an assistant and turned into the head pro, and this is now the end of my 3rd season here. So
awesome. Well, congrats with that.
thank you.
Well, listeners, we're going to do something a little bit different. You may be expecting a course review of Bobby Jones, but we thought, let's do something a little different. Let's have some fun. And so Andrew and I are going to debate between the Magnolia 9 and the Azalea 9, a very common discussion, I think, amongst Atlanta golfers that play Bobby Jones. And it just so happens that I actually am a Magnolia fan, and Andrew is the Azalea fan. So it actually works out. We're going to come to this with some passion. Coming up to Azalea.
Team Azalea.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
This is so good. I love it.
Okay. For those that are listening, that we were throwing up gang signs for our, our respective 9 holes there. But Kayla's going to be the moderator and the ultimate deciding factor of who wins each hole. We thought about some different ways of doing this, maybe comparing par 3s against par 3s and that sort of thing, but it kind of got a little jumbled. So we're just going to do hole 1 versus hole 1, hole 2 versus hole 2, and work our way through the 9 with Kayla deciding which
in
hole.
front of me.
Ooh, there we go. Nice. Well prepared. So we're going to go. And Andrew, since I've been talking way too much, I'm going to let you kick things off with hole 1 for Azalea.
All right. First, I want to preface this. Azalea is also just a better name. Azaleas are prettier than Magnolias. Azaleas are famous to the Masters. I mean, like, where do you really think of a Magnolia?
There are Magnolias, I think.
I mean, we got Magnolia Lane. Magnolia Lane is the entrance to the Masters. Oh, this is already getting good. I'm excited.
As a layman in the golf world, I only knew about the Azaleas, so I am the majority. I like feel like.
Andrew's the everyman. Andrew's the everyman. He represents the everyman. I like it.
I'm just average
like
Joe. But hole 1 at Azalea, it's a tough one. Tipped out, it plays around almost 600 yards, and it's brutal. You have a lot of blocked shots. I've definitely not played that hole very well, and it's still one of my favorite holes there. I think it's fun. I think it's a great way to start your round. It'll absolutely brutalize you. And I just think
Joe's shaking his head.
So I'm the type of person that I want to get the hard stuff out of the way right from the beginning. I would rather have a 12 on that first hole than have that later in the round when I'm playing really well, because that'll just ruin it for the rest of the day for me. I would rather just get that hard one out of the way and just have fun for the rest of the round. And I think the rest of Azalea is a lot easier. This is, number one on the 9 of Azalea. And I think compared to number 1 of Magnolia, you've got like 12 different like groups ahead of you. So you're not dodging trees, you're dodging people. I would rather have to dodge trees than people. You've got
There's
12.
a lot of open space on Mag.
Yeah. You've got, 6 middle schoolers playing one hole that I'm scared to kill. I would rather just knock a tree down or a couple branches down. I also think it's really fun to see my friends tee off there and you see like 3 balls bounce back from the trees. So that is my argument for Azalea.
Fair enough. I'm the exact opposite though. I like to ease into a round, give me some momentum. If I get a 12 on the first hole, I mean, my mentality is totally shot. I'm also mentally weak anyway, so don't give like I hate that tee shot. I've often thought going and playing Azalea, you know what? I might just play from those front tees down past the ravine and just hit from there because I hate that tee shot. It's scary, and again, for me, oftentimes I only have time to warm up, so I'm just praying that I just get it over and give myself a chance. For me, I like the easiness of the wide open one of Magnolia. It's kind of long, but there's just not a lot of trouble. You can spray it right, you can spray it left. Yeah, you have the people in the way, but that's just true with most of Bobby Jones. That's just a reality. And also, it's nice, even though it's a long hole, there's really not a lot of trouble short of the green. So you can hit that 5, 6 iron, whatever you need into the green and not really worry too much if you don't get it all the way there. And that usually leaves you an uphill pitch to the green. I just think it's a great, easy intro into the round. You're probably walking away with no worse than a bogey if you hit not even that great of a shot. And for me, give me a start with a par or a bogey, give myself a little confidence, and then we'll get into the round. Don't give me a 12 on hole 1. I'll I'll fall apart. So that's my best argument for hole 1 to Magnolia. Kayla, what do you think?
Yeah, what do you
My
think?
thoughts.
I want to take a second to thank this episode's sponsor, Green Office Golf in Decatur. They've got private simulator bays powered by Unicore technology, so you get super accurate swing data, instant feedback, and the chance to play full virtual rounds on some awesome courses. It's perfect whether you're serious about improving your game or just want to have fun with friends. You can book a bay or lesson online at greenoffice.golf. Parking's easy. It's in the Arlo Apartments garage. Thank you again to Green Office Golf for supporting the ATL Golfs podcast and helping grow the local golf scene. Go check them out.
Okay, I love both these arguments, and I agree with a lot of points from either one of them. I am gonna have to go with Azalea, number 1, though. The reason being, I think that just the way that the hole is set up is pretty cool. It's if you've ever hit that tee shot, you know that it's like super narrow right by the tee, and it kind of opens up. I feel like it's almost like a really cool like gateway experience to the course. It is much harder though, so I do feel for people on that one.
I will concede it is a much cooler hole. I will concede, and I'm okay with that. I can live with that.
I'll have you guys know, I don't think I've ever scored less than a triple bogey on that hole. So, and I love that hole.
Really? Okay.
I'm terrible at golf, Kayla. I don't know if I'm qualified to host this podcast after a while.
But more people are making triples on that hole than birding that hole. I think you're okay. I think most people will appreciate that.
Yeah, that's fair.
So awesome. We'll go on to hole 2, and I'll kick this one off just to go back and forth a bit. So a bit of a similar experience actually of hole 1, where another very open, very forgiving tee shot. You can hit it left, you can hit it right. Things do get a little more tricky when you on your approach shot to the green. Short, you have a bunker. Long, you have another bunker, but then also it drops away. And so really the only miss on that hole is short and right. And that does give you an uphill chip, which is nice, but it's a pretty small green. And so it's a little more difficult, but I do like that it's a step up, right? So you're going from wide open, pretty easy approach to still wide open and just a leg up as far as difficulty goes with your approach shot to the green. I think these back-to-back really allow you to hit a couple different, first of all, get your driver working. And so hopefully you've hit a couple decent drives. You've got some confidence going in. You've hit probably a mid iron, maybe even a short iron, depending on which tees you're playing from. And so you're just building up that confidence into the round as you get into harder and harder holes over the next 3 or 4. So that's my best argument for number 2.
All right. I will say I do like that about Magnolia. The first two holes let you kind of warm up a little bit. And they don't destroy you because Azalea is a long, long par three for hole number two. Playing back, it'll kind of play around 200 yards plus. But I love that part. I love a long par three. You know, on hole one, I've probably hit a long iron, so that's kind of working a little bit, hopefully. Um, but I love that there's water on the left. I play a fade and I play a slice, probably like 80% of golfers. And so I just aim right over the water and I shouldn't be, but I rip like a 3 or a 4 iron because I have one. And most of the time I end up pretty good. You just miss right. And I think it's fun. It's pretty wide open once you get past the water. You're not too worried about it. But a long par three is fun. To just flush a long iron is really fun in my eyes. And so that's my
It's fun when
argument.
you flush it. It's fun when you flush it, but the problem is how often are you flushing your 4 iron or 5 iron? So to me, that's again, you got two back to back, just brutal holes where, I mean, how many rounds I've played at Azalea where I'm starting 3 over after the first two holes, and I'm just I think most golfers probably are the most mentally strong type. So for me, that's just so tough with long. Not only is it long, but you got water left, and you're trying to swing hard. And what happens when you swing hard? You tend to pull it, which that's been all that happens to me on that hole so often. And so now I'm in the water. I'm just hitting into the trees on hole one, and now I'm going into three. Sneak peek. There's more water. So
Yeah. And you also have the walkers on the sidewalks too watching you. But that's even more
exactly,
pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the walkers and the dogs that are the gallery watching you hit it straight into the water. Yeah, not great.
They love to stop and stand there and like watch you finish out the hole too, which I think is funny.
I have one of those like electric push carts or whatever. And so like I'll have that going and like people are just like, whoa, what is that? And I think I don't know. I think it's fun to have just like regular people watching me. It's the pressure's on when you roll up to a bunch of guys playing from the senior tees and they tell you, come on, play through. There's more
Right.
pressure there. I'd rather have regular people watching me.
That's
Right.
fair.
Okay, what do you
Kayla,
think?
what do you
I
think?
Hole two.
think, Joe, I'm going Magnolia with you. I think 2 is a great hole. Kind of like you said, I agree with like all the points that you made. It's kind of a little bit of an easier tee shot. It's still wide open, but it starts to test your game on that second shot, that approach shot. So I think it's just a great hole. Um, Yeah, there's that big tree left. I don't know if this is something that I've realized like in adulthood, but I have like favorite trees. That's one of my favorite trees ever. That tree is so pretty.
It's a good one. It's a
That
good
is an
one.
adulthood
It's
thing.
30 years old.
Yeah.
Now's the perfect time. There on my street, there are two. I have two favorite trees on my street that we pass every day. And I tell Rosie, look, here's the orange tree and here's the yellow tree. And it's a wonderful thing.
I don't think I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know.
not
I
the
haven't
only
hit
one.
that
It's not that
stage in my life yet.
Yeah, you're young.
Yeah.
You're young. You one day.
I have
One
2 more
day.
years. Once my frontal lobe
You're gonna
really
have a
starts
favorite tree.
developing. I guess because we're just flip flopping back and forth. We've got hole one on me for Azalea, and then hole two for Joe. So we'll keep a little tally. But moving on to hole three, I love this hole again. It plays to a fade or a slice, and you can actually play driver here and swing as hard as you want, and you'll end up usually in a safe spot if you are a big fade or slicer. So I just aim right over the water, rip my drive, and I end up in a really good spot. And then usually I can get on the green in two. There's arguments happening because I think I play Azalea better than I play Magnolia a lot of the times. Um, but I also think this one's fun just because you're by the water. You got that bunker on the right where I don't think it's really in play for me, and for some people it might be, but I think it's just a really fun, straightforward shot and straightforward hole, basically.
Makes sense. So with Magnolia, we get our first par three uphill over the ravine. What I really like about it is just different, right? You got something that's uphill. I think on Magnolia in particular, it's the only shot, I believe, that's going uphill, if I'm not mistaken. And you have a lot of room left to miss. And usually I'm usually actually hitting the iron that I hit into hole one. That tends to be what happens for me for whatever reason. And so usually that's around a 7 iron or so. And so I'm hopefully I already have a little bit of confidence, or I kind of know what is happening with that swing. So I know if I'm pulling it a little bit, drawing a little bit, I can kind of start out to the right, and then or opposite, or whatever heck's going on with my swing that day. You never really know. The green's fun. You have it, it's massive, right? All swooping from right to left down. And so if you miss left, you have an uphill, pretty straightforward chip. Really, the main thing to try to avoid is obviously ending up short, but I think it's a great, comfortable par three, and hopefully you already hit that iron, so you have some confidence going into it. And yeah, smooth sailing from there. Going back to the Azalea, though, I kind of hinted at it just before. Another hole with water where, again, yes, in a perfect world, you fade it over, but there's water. So people tend to speed up their swing, get a little nervous. All of a sudden, you have a pull, hook, duck hook, draw straight into the water, which I'm speaking from experience, unfortunately. And so for me, I'm always I feel weird over that hole where I'm like, all right, I probably should just hit a 7-wood and almost draw it with the shape of the hole almost. But I've also ended up in that bunker before too. So to me, that I'm always a little bit second guessing myself when I'm playing Azalea and over that hole. So that's just me though.
All right, are we ready?
I'm ready.
I think what I'm realizing is that I just don't like par threes. Maybe that's my problem because I think it's Azalea for hole number 3. That's a really good hole. Shout out Mr. Cup because that is a very well designed hole. You have a lot of room to the right, but if you want to be aggressive, you can kind of rip it over the water. I also love playing with like really long hitters on that hole, and they can go straight at the green, and I think that's pretty sweet. So, but if you go too far on the safe side, you're gonna end up in the river across. So,
Oh my god!
Azalea.
As a 20 handicap, the idea of even I didn't know people could hit it over the water. That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
I've
I've
seen
seen
it
people.
done.
I've seen people take that on. Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. I will concede that it is a well designed hole, and it does make you think. And so I'll concede. I would probably, if I had to be super objective, okay.
That's funny because I actually think hole 3 at Magnolia is better in some ways.
Really?
Yeah, I love a par 3 though. I love par 3s, especially like over stuff. I'm a
I don't love an uphill.
masochist though when it comes to golf.
I don't love an uphill par three. I can live without any uphill par threes ever. Frankly.
I think that's what gets me is that it's uphill. Otherwise, I do love that hole. Also, I don't know if you ever noticed that, but that bunker on the left is kind of shaped like a heart. I always want to take a picture of it, but I
Oh,
can never make it look right.
this is such an old person thing. You've aged
I know
so
my
quickly.
trees and my bunkers.
Yeah, trees and bunkers.
So
All right, moving on to hole 4 at Azalea. This is another one of my favorite holes. Because I love a blind shot. I can't hit driver here, so I love being able to take an iron off the tee. I'm not good enough to hit the driver here. It doesn't go straight because it slices or fades so much. But for me, this is like a blind shot. So I usually hit like a 3-iron and it'll fade over to the right, and I can't see where it landed. So walking up to it is always like really fun for me. It's like a little surprise if I'm alive or not. Um and also like it's a pretty short hole. It's a par 4 that's like around 300 yards. So you can kind of just lay up to it and have a nice easy approach shot. So I think it's, going into the round, you're starting to kind of ease into it now. You started off super hard and now it's starting to get a lot easier and you're starting to have a little bit more fun.
it's actually interesting that these two holes lined up because they're both kind of the drivable par fours of the respective nines. So 4 is my favorite. So you got the teed up elevation. You got the skyline in the background, which I posted actually earlier this week on my story. It's the best view of the skyline, I think, from any public, at least any public course, in my opinion. So you got the views, you got the vibes, and you have a drivable par 4. I mean, what else could you want? And then what's even nice about it is, a lot of times with a drivable par 4, there's a ton of risk reward. And so even with the Azalea one, if you want to take it on, you got just death over to the right, just absolute death. You're done for if you hit it right, which again, for a lot of us, right-handed faders, slicers, that's going to be really terrifying. Whereas with 4, you got all the room in the world over to the right. And so you can really just swing away without, really worrying about too much other than if you happen to hit it left, that's where the danger lies. But even then, oftentimes you can find your ball over there. So I think it's just a great drivable par 4, a great birdie opportunity depending on where the pin placement is. It's my favorite, so I'm biased, but I think it's a great drivable par 4.
This is such a good one. Like you said, I mean, these are the two that are really like the only drivable par 4, so they're like the most comparable holes, I feel like. I love the tee shot on Azalea, probably. I just think that's pretty fun. Kind of like you said, Andrew, like just having a little bit of a blind shot and trying to get as close to the green as possible. But I am gonna say Magnolia 4 takes it for me because that view is the best spot on the golf course. It's so cool, and it's really rare that on any given golf course you get to see the skyline. So, yeah, it just has a special place in my heart.
I think that's fair. I did drive the green once on 4 at Magnolia, and that was a good feeling.
Best, the best. Love it. All right. Well, I will kick things off for number 5 here. So this is the left to right par 5. It's a very difficult tee shot for sure, where you hit it too far right, you're in the trees. You hit it too far left, you're in the trees / hazard. So you really have to hit a good one. You can lay up and hit something short of driver, because really, especially if you're playing from the 7 tees. I don't even know where the 8 tees even tee off at, but at least from the 7 tees, like you're really it's gonna be real difficult to even give yourself a good shot at going for it in 2. And even if you are in a decent position, like 220, 230 out, you have the creek that runs short. And so any miss hit, you're in the hazard. You have the hazard left as well. So if you have any time, even if you hit it great and you have a little bit of a pull draw to it, you're in trouble. And you got the trees pinching in from the right. So it is just a very difficult hole that you can, in my opinion, it's a 3-shot hole unless I get really lucky with a driver. But I love that challenge. I think that at that point, you're at hole 5. You're probably sitting at just maybe a handful, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 over, depending on how your round's going, because you haven't really had to hit a hard hole yet. And so now you get to put that to the test, but you're warmed up, you got some confidence to you. And even if you hit a bad tee shot over the right, you could technically play back up 4 if there's no one up there, and make your way back over. But yeah, I love the challenge of 5, and at that point, I'm ready for that challenge. So I think it's a great par 5 to hit on.
All right. Well, I think, see, now you're halfway into the round at Azalea, and you've kind of gotten all the hard stuff out of the way. You're starting to ease into, now it's starting to get a little easy, because hole 5 playing the other way sucks. I think. So the tee shot, you only have like 50 yards for the ravine, so you can just hit right over that. That's an easy little layup shot. Again, I just hit another iron or 3-wood now. I don't hit my drives here because you have trouble on the right. And if you ever end up left, you think it would funnel down, and it doesn't. But I think that's fine. But it's a dogleg left. It's a par 5, plays around 500 yards. But I like this one. I like this one more than the other way around, because there have been so many times when I'm coming the other way around and I hit a ball right into the ravine, short of the green, or I hit a second ball and it's short of the ravine again, and I just end up picking up and walking the rest of the hole. So I love to just get the hard stuff out of the way right away. And then when you're coming back, now you're coming back towards 4 of Magnolia, and now you get to see that beautiful skyline. You get to see people walking. You get to see the part of the hole where you're driving by and you're like, oh, I know where I am now. And so I really like 5 way more than Magnolia 5, because then it starts to get hard at Magnolia.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's hard for me to debate that, because you're right. It is way easier the opposite way around, because really that approach shot, as long as you're in the fairway, you can take DOD if you wanted to, pretty much.
Yeah,
and
he'd be fine.
try to run it up to that green. So I'm hard pressed to debate this as far as just playability goes, but I do think from my side, it's more interesting because you just have so many different decisions throughout the entire hole. What do we have to tee? That second shot, am I going to try to get aggressive and bend it around? Am I just going to get a little layup and then leave myself 160, 170 out, which is kind of an uncomfortable. So there's so many decisions on this hole coming from the opposite side that I think keeps it really interesting and fun to play.
Kayla, what are your thoughts?
This is really hard. I think hole 5, like, I could go either way. I'm hearing both of these arguments, and I mean, y'all are making some killer points here. I think if I were building like my dream golf course, I would probably pick Azalea 5. Just because I think it'd be nice to have that break in the round. Magnolia, I mean, I don't know. Magnolia 5 and I just have some problems we need to work out. I don't play it very well.
I feel that.
It's so fair.
I played it. I played it. I played it. Was it Sunday? What day did I play that? Sunday. Yeah, I think it was Sunday. Anyways, I played what? Hit a great tee shot. And I was gonna lay it with a 9-iron and put myself in a good position around 100 out. Totally chunked my 9-iron. So now I'm 185 out and just hit the most beautiful 6-iron of my life onto the green, 2-putt par. Happy days. And that is the quintessential 10 handicap golf. I'm going to chunk my 9-iron and pure my 6-iron because golf.
That hole is really rewarding though. If you make par or better, I mean, it's gotta feel pretty good. It's just the problem that doesn't happen for me every time. So
Same here. All right, Azalea gets that one.
Let's go.
right,
Moving on to
go
hole
ahead.
number 6. This is my favorite hole at Azalea. And it's not very pretty or anything, but it's just my favorite because I love the elevation change. It's around a 400-yard par 4, and it shoots right up, and you have a blind shot to the green. But I love this one just because I usually lay up. I just hit a 3, like a 3-iron again, or a 3-wood. And then you have this nice look down at the green, and I think that's really fun part about it is just hitting down towards the green is really fun for me because you never know what the ball is gonna do. I love a challenge like that. But if you like bump and run, you might have a chance to look at it. But I just love blind shots, and I love that it's super interesting, even for the lack of like water or anything like that. Definitely don't want to hit it right here though.
we gotta talk about your driver. You don't take it out of the bag very often,
Oh,
huh?
I'm
You're
in
just laying up.
trouble. I'm in trouble with it. It's not good.
That's
It-
like the hole to go for the green on.
ugh. It's I'm a 22 handicap, so what can I say? My game trends in the weirdest ways. Sometimes I can shoot, low 90s or even break 90, and on other days I'm shooting 105. So it's brutal
Well,
right now.
respect on the layups then. I digress.
Yeah,
What
I
you
just
gotta
want
do.
to play fast.
No, hole 6 on the Magnolia side. What's nice is you just come off a pretty tough hole, and then you have a little bit of a breather, at least on the tee shot, which is pretty nice. It can get a little squirrely though. So there's talking about trees. I hate this tree. All right, well, I'll say it. Let me pick it back. I love our version of the ghost tree on this hole. It's on the left. It's like I call that the like Atlanta ghost tree from Bandon. And so that's our version of the ghost tree. But then the tree on the right, the big bushy one, has just ruined this hole for me too many times. So it's a bit of a tricky tee shot. I like to lay up. So I tend to lay up, making sure I'm hitting a number that's going to leave me short of that bushy tree. And so it's not even in play. And that gives me a lot of room. And also the fairway gets a little skinny. So I think that tee shot is just a nice layup, 7-wood, 3 or 4-iron, and you're good. Now, this green can be tricky if you don't know how to play it, but as long as you are keeping it, if you're not going too far left and you almost lay it almost short is a good miss on this green because then it's just then you're just chipping uphill into it. So it can be a difficult green if you really miss long, that's really hard. Or you get in that bunker on the right, or if you're on the left. But if you know the course well, then you can hit a pretty nice approach shot in, leave it a little short, chip up. Worst case scenario, you get out of there with a bogey. But I like that it's a little bit of a breather coming off of a pretty stressful hole 5 there for Magnolia. So
That's fair. These are some good points yet again. I'm torn. I think what's the thing you can do like with no further explanation? I'm gonna go with Magnolia 6.
Okay.
enough. Fair enough.
I feel like I don't have good enough reasoning behind this.
That's
I
fair.
just like that
That's
hole
fair.
better. I don't really know. I think it's probably the approach shot. Like that green is pretty tough. It's sneaky hard. You can end up with some miserable chip shots on that hole. So, but it is short enough that you can hit it pretty close and make a birdie. So I think that is my play.
Yeah.
That's
And
fair.
also, I mean, 6 on Azalea. I feel like there's probably like I know you like a lot of quirk, Andrew,
It's
but
so
there's a lot of people
fun.
that don't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't, and I'm sure that 6 is that, like, very much love-hate hole because it's just weird. It's just a
It's
Yeah.
weird. I
very,
like it. I like the little
very
weirdos.
strange hole. It's interesting. It's interesting, but, you got the tallest flag in Atlanta that you're
I
trying to
love
aim at.
it. It's so
Right?
interesting. I love to pick that flag up.
That's a
But,
good view from up there too, that approach shot.
it is
That's
a
Um,
good view.
the Instagrammable hole.
I'm
And it
100%.
is fun. I'll give you that approach shot because you can play it. I've done that little bump and run, but I've also played that and it's run all the way down and on the other side and now have an impossible chip shot. So yeah,
But that's
it's a tough one.
fun. I can come out of a hole shooting a 20 and I'd still be like, man, that one was fun.
I love
I love
Andrew's
um,
ultimate vibes guy. Ultimate
yeah.
vibes. All right, I'll take the next one here. Hole 7, handicap number 1 for a reason, because you got trouble left and right on off the tee. You got the lake on the right, which is always scary for us slicers slash faders, and then left is like the sneaky hazard. I almost feel like the first time I played this hole, first or second time, I hit it left and I was like, oh, that's fine. And then those trees are only like 200 yards out. And then there's a pond behind it as well. And it's gone. And then you leave yourself with like 100 and, if you drop right there, it's 160 odd yards. And again, you got the water on the right. So it's a very difficult shot, but there is probably nothing more satisfying than absolutely nailing this tee shot, having it fade right over the corner of the water, landing, and if you're there in that little like catch spot right over the water or right over the left line of the water, you're going to have a nice pitching 9, maybe 8 iron into the green. You're going to be lined up really nicely with the way the green is shaped. And so it's one of those things where, yeah, it's tough, but when you nail that tee shot, everything else opens up and there's nothing that feels better. The other interesting thing about this hole is if you're really terrified of the water and there's no one else on the course, you can't just go right and hit it over towards the tee box on hole 8 and take the water basically kind of out of it. That's a little cheat sheet there. Probably OB if you're actually playing a real tournament, but if no one else is on the course, then there's a little bit of a cheat shot that you can do as well. But I like to take on the challenge and get that satisfaction of conquering it. So.
I'm trying to think. There's like certain places where we have to mark out of bounds if we have a tournament, but I don't think we usually do that. And maybe we
Really?
should. I don't know. I didn't really realize people were going that way.
I literally learned about it this week, and so I did it, actually. I was like, "This was so much better." I posted, like, "What's your scariest tee shot for Halloween?" And this was mine. I had a picture of me playing this hole, and I've hit it in the water so many times, and I've had such great rounds end up with a double or triple on this hole because it's just difficult. And everyone's like, "Dude, you gotta go right. You gotta go right." I'm like, "What? That's an option? How have I not heard of this?" So, yeah,
Right.
the more you know.
Just don't do it when there's people there.
Yes, exactly. No, that's it. There's some prerequisites, and the main one is that there is absolutely no one in front of you, no one's on 8 tee box, and you got the clear way to go that way. So,
All right. I gotta really sell this par 3 to Kayla now. Uh, hole 7 at Azalea. It's another kind of long par 3. It obviously goes down, so it plays a little bit shorter. From where I usually play from, it says 165, and it usually plays like 150, I think. And so I get to hit a club that I really love, my 7-iron. It's one that I feel like I can always flush. But I just love this one because it's another downhill shot. It's really interesting. You do have a little bit of trouble around, near the green. But I like this because it's an elevated green, so if you hit it short or you hit it long, you're in a weird spot. But I love those like high little chip shots. And sometimes if you hit it short, it's also another little mystery prize where you're like, am I safe? Am I not safe? Like, where did I really end up? And it's kind of an easier par 3 though too. And so think about this. You've already been destroyed by the beginning of Azalea. You're starting to trend. You're starting to have a good time now. And so you're walking up to this par 3 and you're just ready to rip it and just have a good time. And so just keep that in mind. You're starting to feel really good. You might have had 2 or 3 beers already.
I can't hold the green on this. I feel like I've hit absolute peach, just perfect shots on this hole, and I can't get to stay on the green. If you're on like the towards the back of that green, it's not staying on. I don't know why, and I can't figure it out. It's a great hole though. I actually like it because it's downhill, and I love a downhill par three. But I can't hold the green. I don't get it. It's a conundrum of mine.
It is pretty difficult. All right, this one's tough. These are, I think, two of the hardest holes on either course, honestly. Magnolia 7 it's a pretty hole. I mean, it's well built. I don't know. It's like anything that you could ask for in a par 4. But as far as par 3s go, I think Azalea 7 is pretty good. I love a downhill par 3, like you said. I don't know. And as much as that holding the green makes me frustrated, like I think that it really can separate players, especially if you're playing a match out there. I'm going with 7 Azalea.
Oh, let's go.
I respect it because that is, out of all the par threes, that's my favorite par three. So I would agree. I would concur.
It's a good one.
And honestly, if we're creating the perfect Bobby Jones 9, I can definitely live without having 7 on that 9. I can definitely live without that. We'll be good. I will not cry about it. All right, let's see.
Moving on
how's
to
it feel, Andrew, that you won your
my par 3? I sold it. I'm a natural salesman, I guess.
Look at you.
But I think it's fun. I just love golf. I don't know if you guys can tell. Like, I just love golf.
I never guessed.
Yeah. So I'm just happy to be out there. But Magnolia makes me a little bit less happy when I'm out there, I guess. And I think it's important to, end a round on a good note. And so I love that it starts to like kind of ease up at Azalea. And then talking about easing up, hole 8. At Azalea, it's a par 4, plays around 450 yards. And honestly, not my favorite. I don't love a straightforward hole. It's straight up just
Not weird enough.
Yeah, it's just not weird enough. Yeah, I need some quirk. It's fun to play, I guess. You can, just hit a solid drive and then you have a great approach shot. But it's just like a standard golf hole for me. So I can't really argue this one. I don't like holes that are super straightforward. I like to flirt with them a little bit. And so it's not enough of a challenge, I guess, for a 20 handicap.
You're
Not
not
that I play this
selling this
hole.
hole.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
400. That's funny. I like how Andrew goes from, I'm a great salesman too. I can't sell you on this hole.
You're just gonna take the L.
I can't sell
All
a
right,
product
Joe,
I don't
what do
love.
you got for me? It's got to be better than that.
Yeah. I do sales for my day job, so I should be better than that. So this is interesting because this is another really just straight away kind of another par 3 actually, but I think this one is more interesting than what meets the eye. Typically, I'm hitting a pitching wedge or a 9-iron, so it's definitely something where I'm like, all right, I hit this club a lot. I have this club dialed. I put a lot of expectations on myself to hit this green. And also, if you don't, there is trouble because the pin's usually on the right-hand side, and so if you end up right, you're in that really deep bunker, and the way the green, it's sloping back to front. And so if that pin placement's towards the front and you're hitting towards that pin from the bunker, it's really difficult to hit a good one and get it close. And then if you're on the left-hand side, everything just falls away. And so if you hit that edge, your ball just careens left. And then wherever the pin is, if it's in the middle, if it's on the right, you still don't have a lot of green to work with. And so while it's a shorter shot in most cases, it's a pressure shot. And I can just go back last time I played. Absolute, probably my shot of the day. I hit everything I could out of a pitching wedge, about 140, 150 shot, and was about 15 feet from the pin. And it felt awesome because it drew right over that bunker, landed, spun back a little bit, and was it just felt great. So I think it's just one of those holes where I love a short par 3 that has a lot of trouble. So you get the heart rate up, but I've hit this shot. I know I can hit a pitching wedge. I know I can keep my dispersion and make it happen. And it feels great when you pull it off.
All right. Well, I feel like Andrew's already accepted defeat here.
I think they're both very boring, though. I think both those holes are very boring for me.
I would agree with Joe, though. 8 is not as boring as you would think. It's almost, if you haven't played it before, listeners out there, it's like the green is like up on a plateau, which I think is really cool. One of my favorite holes like ever on any golf course is the like iconic par 3 on Sleepy Hollow, the like square kind of up on the plateau kind of deal. But yeah, I don't know, that 8 Magnolia, it's short enough that you can like feel comfortable with what club you're hitting, but you're not safe on and around the green.
Awesome. Well, hey, guess what? By just circumstance, we ended up with 2 par 3s. So there you go.
There you go. I'm building a golf course.
Look at us. Look at us. Alrighty. Well, I will take on hole 9. So love this hole. Par 5, and there's 2 ways of playing it, at least currently, until the trees grow up. But for now, there's 2 ways of playing it where you can either play it left and basically guarantee yourself a 3-shot hole, which is fine. There's a lot of room left to hit a driver and put yourself out there, and then take it back across and work your way back over to the ravine towards the green. Or one of the funnest tee shots, in my opinion, you got 2 giant trees and you got some little trees growing up, and you're trying to split the uprights as if you're hitting a field goal at a football game. Split those, and if you do that, you cut off a ton of distance, and then you can actually, it's rare, but you can actually go for the green in 2, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Kayla, you and I forget the guy's name that you played this hole with and got an eagle on, right?
Oh, Rance, yeah.
Rance.
Yes.
I know
Oh,
Rance.
He schooled me. That was so embarrassing.
He's good.
I mean, he hit
Yeah.
the freaking 3-wood of his life on this hole, like, or whatever. I don't remember what he hit, but it was an incredible shot. I've maybe only seen someone go for it in 2 a handful of times because it's just so much risk reward on that hole. So I think it's just a great finishing hole. I love a par 5 finisher anyways. And then the fact that you have some choices off the tee box, and then you hit a great one, you still have the opportunity to go for it in 2, but there's, again, a ton of risk reward. But you also can lay it up. There's a nice little layup spot. And that little 100-ish yard pitch shot up to the green is so delicate. And depending on where the pin placement is, you have the green's interesting. It just runs away, though. So you have to either try to land it short and let it run up to the hole, but then you're getting a little too delicate and you've got that ravine in front of you. So you got a lot to think about. But if you hit it long, now you're doing a uphill chip shot. So now you're really fighting to get par. I think it's just a great finisher hole that has a lot of variety of how you can play it and kind of what situations you'll find yourself in.
No, I hate ending on that hole. All right, let me sell you on 9 at Azalea. Picture this: you're playing with 3 of your really, really good friends. All right, you guys are maybe not having the best round of your life. And then, the last hole is a short little par 4. Not short. It's like a 400-yard par 4. You've had 3 or 4 beers. The sun is setting. You guys all hit off the tee because it's a wide open tee shot. You guys are all walking together. Meanwhile, at Magnolia, someone's way far left and someone's way far right. And you're not even talking to each other walking back. The tree is blocking you. Meanwhile, at 9 on Azalea, you're walking back with your friends. You guys are chatting, talking about what you're going to order at Boone's. As you're walking up, you can smell the food grilling at Boone's. And you guys all have this great 180, 160-yard approach shot. And you guys all land the green. And you guys all 3-putt for bogey. But still, you're walking back up. And it's just an easy, super approachable hole. And you're just having a great time walking with your buddies, a little tipsy.
Oh, man. The salesman is back.
They're so back, baby.
Wow.
They're so back, baby.
You are in trouble. He just painted the most beautiful picture.
I underestimated him. I really did. He lulled me into a sleep. So I was like, oh, I'll just do my typical thing. And then he comes in with the, painting the most beautiful picture of all time. I'm closing my eyes. I'm dreaming of it. I can smell Boone's right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. So what I will say is Magnolia, fantastic hole if you play it the way that it was intentionally designed. I think that like laying up in front of the creek and then trying to go for it in 2 is really cool. Also a very, very hard shot because you've got all that like wildflowers and stuff down the side. I don't know though. There's something about Azalea 9. I really just think it's the vibe. It's it just fosters like friendship. But yeah, I do love that hole. I think I'll go with Azalea 9 for sure.
Let's go. It worked.
Oh gosh, the title of this episode should be Andrew gets Kayla to love golf.
It's not a job anymore.
I know.
Oh,
I'm like,
wax
wow,
the
should I
weather.
go play right now?
Right,
You
let's go.
totally could.
Can
Oh
go
gosh.
call my
I
friends,
feel we all have the best round of our life right now. Just after that picture, I mean, how could you not have a great round after
right?
that? So good. All
I
right,
think
so
it's the
let's
smelling boons.
that's it. That's it. Let's recap. So Andrew, what is our dream Bobby Jones 9? How does it play?
All right. So if we just go in order, it starts off Azalea 1, and then we'll go to Magnolia 2. And then we move on to Azalea. Kayla really made this a tiebreaker. And then you move on to Azalea 3, and then Magnolia 4. And then you move on to
Wow.
Azalea 5, and then Magnolia 6, and then Azalea 7, Magnolia 8. And the tiebreaker on the last hole,
Did zigzag.
yeah, is
I
Azalea
did not do
9.
that intentionally, I promise. But
That's
wow.
crazy.
Yeah, it's a great
So cool.
tiebreaker. Yeah.
That's
So we got
cool.
Azalea 5 and Magnolia 4. So
Wow.
Love it.
All right, now how
Awesome.
do we make it
Well,
happen? We need to figure out how to get everybody out there and play it like this.
close the
Yeah.
course
That'd
down.
be pretty cool. Right?
We'll have to figure that out. We'll do the we'll after hours or something like that one day. We'll play the dream Bobby Jones 9. We'll get some
Right?
content. It'll be fun. And be on the lookout. Stay tuned for the
What do we
Yeah,
next
call
I
reel.
it?
would love that. I'm sure there's a way we can make that happen.
Yeah.
What do
The
we
dream
call it?
Bobby
A
Jones 9.
Zagnolia?
I think
Mazaglia?
we need another flower.
Yeah. Oh, another flower is a good idea, actually, instead of
Oh,
trying
no.
to combine
No.
these.
Yeah, let's come up with something.
That was a good try, though.
Yeah.
Well, that was
Kayla,
great. Well, yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
yeah, Kayla, thank you so much for being on here. Thanks for the laughs and the fun conversations. I'm glad you moderated it. I think we definitely needed that instead of just me and Joe just talking about it, because I think it would have gotten a lot more heated.
We,
And-
we would have not been friends anymore after the end of it.
yeah. Is there anything
It's
you want to
cool.
add, Kayla? Like anything that's going on at Bobby Jones that you want to talk about, or just anything that's on your mind, I guess.
Oh goodness. Well, I want to say that I really enjoyed this. I feel like there is a pretty good even split with our golfers out here, so it's always fun to ask people what their favorite is. But this was a really interesting way to break it down. Yeah, nothing super exciting coming up. I mean, there's always exciting things happen, but we are nearing the end of our season. The course is in fantastic shape right now, so come out and play it before it gets too cold. This is like the best time of the year for the greens. They're awesome. So, yeah, we're just, you know, ready to slow down a little bit and take a breather, and then we'll be back at it again in the spring. We're playing like our employee tournament here pretty soon, so I gotta go practice for that. I didn't do
Ooh,
so well last year, and I'm not having that again.
Some
that'd be fun.
extra motivation. Love it. And I can confirm, having played Bobby Jones on Sunday, course is in fantastic shape. Greens are rolling real nice. So yeah, get out there, play Bobby Jones, get some views in, and yeah, maybe bring some notes and remember, oh yeah, this is the if you're playing Azalea, oh, these are the best ones of Azalea, then you can go play Magnolia.
Yeah.
Oh, these are the best ones of Magnolia. You know? So,
Yeah, let us know if you agree.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, let us know in the comments which holes you agree, disagree. Let's get some good old-fashioned comment arguments going on in the comments. You know, let's make it really
Yeah.
toxic. You know, just arguing about golf holes.
I love
I'm
this.
ready. I'm ready for the heat. Give me all the smoke.
So beautiful. Well, Kayla, thanks again so much for being on the pod, and looking forward to hopefully doing more things in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys, and thanks for coming out and playing. We love seeing your faces around, so
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to the course history segment of this episode. I just want to say I really do enjoy doing this part of the episodes. I get to geek out about golf and I get to geek out about history. So putting them together, it's kind of like so fun for me. I don't know about you guys, but I love this segment. And so I just want to hear back if you guys are enjoying this, or if you're not, or if there's things I'm getting wrong. There's kind of limited information when it comes to the golf courses and the history. It's not like a big topic people really geek out about. but I feel like we could create something where people do geek out about this because I find it really interesting. But without further ado, let's just get into this course history segment. Bobby Jones Golf Course was built in 1933. It was designed by John Van Cleek. It was originally an 18-hole course that stretched out to around 5,800 yards and some change. But yeah, it had become outdated. 5,800 yards nowadays, all the way from the tips, is pretty short. And a lot of people had said it had become dangerous near the end of it. I never really played golf then. I definitely didn't play golf then. And so I'm just curious if you guys ever played Bobby Jones before the redesign, and leave a comment and kind of describe how it was, or reach out to me on Instagram. I'm so curious about what it was like. It sounds so interesting. I saw some images of scorecards here and there, but couldn't really get an idea of what it was like. Here's one really interesting thing about in the 50s, Alfred Tupp Holmes, that's a name you guys might know if you've ever played there. He attempted to play around there in 1951 and was denied by the course manager. Later on, got together with some of the people that he was playing with and sued the city of Atlanta. They ended up winning that court case in 1954, and it led to the desegregation of public golf courses in at least Atlanta. So really cool. It's a landmark site, a lot of history there. Two big names in the city of Atlanta as well. So really cool stuff there. So in 2011, kind of near when it started getting into disrepair, is what people were saying, Bob Cupp started the design process, and it was completed in November of 2018. Now, most of you probably won't know this, but he passed away in 2016 due to pancreatic cancer, which is really sad that he never got to see the finished project. But fortunately, his son, Robert Bobby Cupp Jr., saw the project over till its finishing. Some interesting golf courses that Bob Cupp originally designed were Reynolds Plantation in Greensboro, Georgia, or Lake Oconee. He designed the Landing and the Preserve golf course there. He also designed Setting Down Creek in Roswell. If you guys don't know, that's owned by Ansley Golf Club. And there's also Marietta Country Club in Kennesaw, Georgia. Funny that it's called Marietta Country Club in Kennesaw, Georgia. But some really big golf courses. I think what's really cool about this segment is that you find these golf courses and you don't think anything of them, and then you start looking up the designer and it's like, whoa, they designed this and this and this. I think that's really interesting.
The best way to stay informed on the Atlanta golf scene is the ATL Golfs newsletter. It's free once a month. It covers everything you care about within the scene. So that's local course reviews, that's local golf apparel drops, that's letting you know when the next charity or amateur tournament is you can compete in, and a ton more. And also, if you like free golf, which who doesn't, I have giveaways every single month to hook you up with free golf at courses like Cobblestone, Heritage, Wolf Creek, Bobby Jones, and a ton more. So you can subscribe at newsletter.atlgolfs.com. Thanks.
Last episode, we asked you, what is your best golf shot? We asked y'all to describe exactly how it went. And we had a bunch of entries. We had a couple eagles. We even had an albatross. Ultimately, we ended up with what the criteria was to describe it the best. So
I'm just wondering on that, because there were some technically, obviously an albatross is better than a birdie, but we wanted all the details. We wanted the description. We wanted you to paint a picture that we could feel and envision. And there was one in particular that we felt really did a great job of that.
The best shot of my life would have been 2 years ago on my birthday in July. So it was super hot and steamy out. Was playing at Hamilton Mill Golf Club in Tequila, Georgia on hole number 4, which is almost an island green. So you're hitting over water, green slopes from back to front, lots of undulations. The pin was tucked top right of the green on top of a ridge. The hole was playing about 147 to the pin from the tournament tees. And at the time, I wasn't such a good golfer. So, I've gotten better as the years have gone by. But I hit a 9-iron, and I hit it about 3 feet behind the pin, ripped back, hit the flagstick, and was out about 4 inches from the pin. So nearly my first hole-in-one. I'd have to say that was my absolute best shot of my life. And if I could go back and recreate that moment over again, it'd be something special.
That's awesome. I love that.
Love
Described
it, love
perfectly. I envisioned it.
You literally closed your eyes. You were in the moment. You were transported to Hamilton Mill.
I was there. I was watching him.
You fist bumped. You fist bumped Kyle after the shot, mentally.
Well, yeah. Let's congratulate Kyle Clement,
Yes.
the owner and founder of the Fairway Society, and the
Hold
winner.
on, here we go.
And the winner of the $50 Starbucks gift card.
Woo! There you go, Kyle.
Kyle, you know how to get in touch with us. We'll probably get in touch with you, and Joe will send it over. And for the next podcast, we want to hear from you again. Joe, what do we want to hear from them?
Yeah, we accidentally stumbled on it last podcast episode, which is what's a crazy story that's happened to you being paired up with randoms. Maybe you were a threesome and got paired with a random, and the inspiration actually ends up being perfect timing. If you're watching the Internet Invitational, the Duke has become a fan favorite, I think. And the way he even became part of their atmosphere or environment is because he got paired randomly with Bob. And obviously Bob sees the Duke and immediately falls in love. So it can be some crazy but kind of fun story, or it can be absolute madness, just terrible. We want to hear it all. So if you've gotten paired with some crazy randos, and if you haven't, I hate to break it to you, but you might be the crazy rando.
That's a good point. I never even thought about that. Well, that's funny that you say that, because you said you've never run into any crazy randos earlier. So, Joe, you might be the crazy rando.
Maybe that's me. That's what it is. It's not that I've been fortunate. It's just I am the crazy rando, throwing clubs and getting wasted on the course. Yeah, that's me.
So if you guys want to submit your voice message, just go to speakpipe.com/ATL Golfs. You can also find the link in the description, and we'll also probably have something on the, short or promo that we do. So just check it out there, and we want to hear from you guys. So thank you so much.
Yep, right, appreciate it. Last thing, first of all, if you haven't already, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. I think it's maybe our best one yet. Hopefully it is. We should be getting better. Please subscribe, like, comment. Every single time you do something that's engaging, the algorithm says, ooh, that looks good. Let's show this to other people. And that helps grow it. And also share this with your friends. Look, we're all listening to podcasts pretty much these days, but usually it's about stuff we don't actually care about, or that's not actually close to home. And so share this with your buddies, share this with your golf pals, and let's spread the word and drive up our subscribers to the ATL Golfs podcast. Appreciate you guys. I did a promo of the ATL Golfs podcast in my latest newsletter, #transition. And the newsletter came out this past Monday, which was the 3rd of November. And I was really proud of it, and I would recommend checking that out. You can go to newsletter.atlgolfs.com, and that is a once a month, basically a digest that you can come back to throughout the course of the month, where you can find my course reviews from the previous month. You can find apparel drops that happened the previous month from Atlanta-based companies. Shout out Griffin. He messaged me on Instagram and said, hey, Joe, just so you know, from the drip drop this past month, I purchased one of the Georgia Golf Company crew necks. I'm like, yes, love that. And that's you, by the way. If you're out there and you've learned about companies, you've learned about apparel brands because of what ATL Golfs has been doing, I would love to know that, because I would love to share that with the brands. It's kind of validation, I guess, for what we're doing as well. So it makes us feel good. And so let us know if there's apparel that you bought because of ATL Golfs, or companies learned about because of ATL Golfs. Love to know about that and be able to share that with others. And please subscribe to the newsletter. It's free. Share it with your friends. And this month, we decided to run it back as far as the referral prizes go, with 2 referrals get you Green Office Golf for an hour. And then with 3 referrals, a round of either Cobblestone or Heritage Golf Links to great courses. And we'll actually have a Heritage Golf Links review coming out in the next week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And the next one is going to be the Manor, and then we'll have Heritage Golf Links. And then after that will be Mirror Lake, the mountain course, which Andrew will be playing on Friday. So look forward to that. Yeah, it's going to be good. Excited for that. So I think that's it from me. Andrew, sign us off, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you again, everyone, for just checking us out. I appreciate all the follows that everyone's been giving me on my little golf page that I've been going with. I also want to know, so we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, and we're also on Apple Podcasts. But I've met some people, and not everyone's on those big three like streaming platforms. And so if we're not on your platform, please message me or Joe, and we can work hard to try to get that out to you. We want to get it out to everyone. So if you're not able to listen for some reason, just let us know, and we can try to get that out to you guys. I do want to mention that we still have space for sponsors. And so if you're interested in that, you can reach Joe or me on Instagram, or I'll also leave Joe's email in the description. You guys can reach out to him formally there. But yeah, that's it. I just appreciate everyone and all the love that we've been getting. Just hearing really good things. I haven't really been hearing any bad things. And so, I'm open to the criticism, whether it's making fun of my bad golf game or maybe audio things, just kind of let us know. And I want to thank you guys for listening and watching the ATL Golfs podcast.
Thanks, everyone. Hit them straight this weekend.